Hello, I hope you are well. I wanted to remake coasters with the small dots, the raindrops, that are made with UV resin. For that, I made a base. I didn't put it directly on the silicone because it can damage the molds. So I made a simple clear resin base, epoxy resin. And then I'll use my Chameleon powders, of course, and my UV resin, which is somewhere, yes, it's there. I've turned it upside down to avoid bubbles. I'll try to make some little drawings. We'll see. I'll speed up several parts of the video because it's really time consuming. I also wanted to tell you that probably next week I won't be uploading a video. I'm giving myself a little week. I really need it. And then, after that, we're going to start working on the new season's projects. Yes, it's almost the beginning of the new season. So there's a lot to do. Autumn, Halloween, Christmas. Yes, a lot of things. So, I made a little thing here that I'm going to show you. This is a little cat. I really enjoyed making it. I'll be sharing this with you in a video, maybe several, as I make faux stained glass out of resin. So stay tuned for my next adventures. Don't forget to subscribe. You'll find the link below. It's free, and that way you won't miss anything. So let's get started. I'll put on some gloves, get ready, and then we'll go. You have different ways of drawing on your background, either by using the bottle directly or by using the little dotting tools. Here, I've seen Louise Singleton to do a great coaster like this, and it's made me want to do it again because it's been a while since I've done one, and I really like these dotting coasters. So let's get started right away. And it's not off to a good start because my little dots have aggregated and it's not going well. Normally you have to use high viscosity resin to avoid this kind of problem. I only have this resin, this UV resin, which is medium, so I'll start with another drawing. And of course I'll put it to dry right away, and then I apply my Chameleon powder. This is a little trick I saw on Louise's channel. When you work directly on the silicone mold, obviously the pigments stick to the silicone. But with the glove, in fact, it's much easier to remove, having made a clear resin base. It's much easier to clean up, I guarantee. Well, my lines are a little thick, but that's okay. I let myself go a bit. Now, I'm swiping with my makeup brush and apply a little alcohol to clean as best as I can. When you clean, you also have to clean the edges, of course, trying not to disturb the clean resin, the base, because otherwise the black resin you're going to add on top might seep through, and that's not what we want. I'm continuing to add my lines and Chameleon powder, so I can tell you one thing: cleaning is no cakewalk. Louise said as much in her video. Right now I'm using a little alcohol, my glove, and then I'm going to use the little Q-tips and micro brushes. As for the edges, be careful. Okay, that's for this one. I'll stop here. It's pretty as it is. I hope the result won't be too bad. Let's move on to another mold. This time I'm going to do small dots. So, let's get started. I'm doing it directly with my bottle, then I'll use my dotting tool. So don't forget to leave your bottle of resin to avoid making any sort of connecting lines between the two, and I'll put these first 3 to dry straight away before they come together. And then I'll continue with my little dots. And you'll see that, of course, Miss Disaster is back. I got carried away by my impulse and did all my lines and small dots at once without putting my Chameleon powders in the meantime. So it's going to be a little more complicated to spread it out. I'll let you see. No, it's not a good idea. And especially for cleaning, because my little dots are tight. Well, my little lines of little dots are tight. But it is what it is. But what a pain to clean up. So I cut the video off because otherwise it would be taken too long. Let's move on the third and try not to do anything stupid. Same principle. I'm making little dots with my resin, and I also use my little dotting tools here, and that's it. So nothing extraordinary. I'll cut this part too. Here my third one is ready. It took me a long time to clean the molds. A pack of Q-tips later, make micro brushes, cloth, vinyl gloves. In short, it took me a while. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but for now it's nice. This is the one where I made all my dots before the rest. Here, well, my lines are a little too thick. And there is here I made a line of little dots, and then a sort of, I don't know what, a little drawing, free interpretation. Now I'm going to prepare some resin, black resin. I'm not going to innovate. Then we'll pour it, and 24 hours later we'll see the result. So one thing's for sure, Louise is much more talented than me. She's made much prettier things. I don't know if I'm tired or what, but I'm having a bit of trouble concentrating. That's why I need a bit of vacation, because I can't produce all day. I just can't do it. It's not that I don't want to, but I've got obligations on the side, and unfortunately I can't do what I like all day long. So I don't have much time to devote to all that, much less than I'd like, which also makes it complicated sometimes between creating, preparing videos, putting them online, etc. I don't have anyone to help me, so I'm multitasking. Anyway, that was a bit of blah blah to explain the whys and the wherefores. I'll meet you in 2 seconds. My resin is ready. I made it black. I find it goes best with Chameleon pigments. You need a dark color anyway. It's what really stands out best. You can also use a blue. A deep blue is nice too. But I did black. So now I'm just pouring, crossing my fingers and hoping I've done enough. Well, right on the money. So I let the bubbles come up a little, give a little brush around them, and then we'll meet again in a second for demolding, since by the magic of the screens everything will be ready in a second or two. Let's see how these little things turn out, if I haven't done anything too ugly. Go for the first one. This is the one where my big lines crisscross. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, yes, I like it. Yes, I've got some chameleon powder left in the mod. Well, I'll have to perfect my cleaning technique. But I like it. It's very nice, those crisscrossing lines. The colors don't mix when you brush them, so it's great. Ah, yes, I like it. The second one, I look at my edges too to check that the black resin hasn't seeped underneath. Yes, I like it too. I've got a bit of powder there in the corner that I haven't cleaned up properly. But that was really, really hard. It takes a crazy amount of time. But I like it. I like this doodle too. Okay. Okay, it's okay. For me, it's okay. The third one, where I made lines of little dots and obviously forgot to put in the chameleon powders. Take a look, my 2 layers of resin are perfectly distinct. I'm very pleased with this. It didn't seep underneath at all, so I'm very happy. So yes, there's a lot of chameleon powders left in the gaps between the dots. I must have been tired. I didn't clean well enough, but I like the result anyway. Let me know what you think in the comments. So I'd like to remind you that there's going to be a short week, or 8 or 10 days without video. I think, unless I find video that I haven't published and that I'll post for you. But a priori, I'm taking a bit of vacation. I also need a second breath. I can't produce all day like some people, because there's live, there's all that, there's everything else. Unfortunately, I'm not full-time. I'd like to, but it's not possible. So we are going to get together again in about 10 days, maybe 12, so I don't know. Don't forget me, please. I'll put some photo here. It's not easy to catch all the shades. It's really complicated, but it's pretty, I can tell you. So until we meet again for new adventures, take care of yourself. Don't forget me. See you soon. Bye.